Hey everyone, it's MD. Welcome to the Selective Service and Robert Card Storytime video that is actually the sequel to the one I did last year. So the majority of the stuff I'll be saying in this video will be new. So let's just jump right in and start with Selective Service. So as you know by now, I was forced to register for Selective Service against my will when I was 18, either in 2022 or 2023. And ever since then, I've had nearly constant daily anxiety of a world draft happening. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I am saying if it ever did happen, I would be forced to go to war against my will, and I clearly do not want to be in any part of the US military, especially when I don't have a choice. And speaking of not having a choice, I'm basically forced to live my life as a robot because once you're registered for Selective Service, you've basically become a pawn of the US military, and I don't know how to get out of that because I've done so much research on how to unregister from Selective Service. I even used ChatGPT to try to do that. I got nowhere and it only made things worse for me, and my anxiety of a world draft happening, a clearly unfair and inequitable one happening because only men are forced to do this. This anxiety only worsens when I see stuff like politics and the government and the news, and I don't know what else to do, and I clearly can't turn to anyone because no one wants to help me unregister. And speaking of corrupt military, let's now move on to Robert Card. Ever since he committed loose and mass shootings and killed himself, I've been wanting my revenge on that 40-year-old faggot because he injured 13 people, killed 18 of them, some of them were even children. I actually walked home the very night he committed the shootings, just a couple hours before, and since then, even more than 2 years later, I've been traumatized, and I was even fearing for my life during that period because he was less than an hour away from where I live. I wasn't in Lewiston, but he was still less than an hour away from where I live, and I was fearing for my life that he could have run to my house and fucking killed me, and I honestly don't understand why I was prohibited and discouraged to get revenge on Robert Card by breaking the silence and speaking up. And I just want to say, fuck every single retarded piece of shit who forced me to stay silent for so long. And Robert Card, you can suffer in hell for all I care. I hate you, and you don't deserve any respect at all. And you should have been fucking discharged from the military years and years before this even happened. But that's all coming from me, so I would now like to pass the mic on over for the remainder of the video to my loyal, faithful business partner, Sneezetooth. Please take it from here.
Thank you for having me on here, MB. It was an honor to share my experiences again. The most important thing to note out of all of Selective Service's wrongdoings to me is the fact that despite having every male having to sign up from the time they're 18 to 25, all their benefits that they offer are fake. They don't actually follow through on job training or the funding. I had to use their website to study them, and it's kind of traumatic looking at it, but basically the major points of it too are they don't let you register once you're 26 plus as a male. They still say you can try to go for the benefits, but in my opinion they have no proof that they would offer any actual benefits that would come in or, basically be like real benefits or money. And then also the fact that they don't let women sign up could be seen as sexism as well. Rest in peace to the victims of the Robert Card mass shooting. For Robert Card, I ended up with the PBS News article again, and the headline says, Experts say main mass shooter's brain injury doesn't explain his violence. In the article, a lot of people say that it could have been a brain injury, but then they counteract it with the fact by the end that he never said that the grenades bothered him, but that was just because they had to handle it in the military, in my opinion. The most concerning fact of it, and or facts to me, are these two facts. The first fact is that when Hodgson texted an Army supervisor about his growing concerns about Card, saying, I believe he's going to snap and do a mass shooting, that happened 6 weeks later, but nobody responded, basically to detain Card and prevent the issue. The main thing to me that was terrible about the event was the fact that the military had 6 weeks to respond to this, but apparently hadn't. I hope you all enjoyed. Stay safe and have a great day.